Welcome, everyone, to Lucky Episode 13 of the official podcast for Guardian 1, a Destiny group dedicated to the prosperity of Guardians everywhere. We broadcast live Thursdays at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Guardian1 Network. My name is Remy, and tonight I am joined by River.
What's up, fools?
Crimson Warlock.
Hey, everybody.
Jez.
Welcome.
For the first time, Agrios and Dendros.
Greetings.
And finally, a Guardian who goes by Destiny Author, but those in the know call him Dr. Professor Weeks. Dr. Professor?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We are going to be talking about all things Destiny, but first, housekeeping.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Be sure to check out the Guardian 1 website at guardian1.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at G1net. That's G, the number 1, N-E-T. You can send us feedback to our email address, feedback@guardian1.net. We also have a Bungie.net forums group. If you want to join, just search out the group name Guardian 1. Right now, we're sitting at, actually, I have to get to where the group is so I can figure out exactly what count we're at. I was so underprepared for that. 110 members. We're currently at 110 members. Guardian 1 has its own clan, so if you want to join the Guardian 1 clan, we cater to both platforms. So no one will be left out, so just select the buttons that say set as PlayStation clan or set as Xbox clan. We also utilize the forums for comments and feedback, so be sure to join the conversations going on there. Big thank you to all those currently in the Twitch chat. You guys are so awesome. If you can't catch the show live, we do have the YouTube broadcast at youtube.com/Guardian1 Network. We broadcast the show at twitch.tv/Guardian1 Network every Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. We are part of the Guardian Radio Network. It's the partnership that we have with the guys over at Guardian Radio. Be sure to check out the Guardian Radio Network website at theguardiansofdestiny.com. They broadcast the main Guardian Radio podcast every Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, on twitch.tv/Guardian Radio. You can also follow their Twitter account at Guardians of D and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian Radio. They have the Guardian Radio, they have the iTunes feed, so if you're on iTunes, check that out, send feedback. We got the main Guardian Radio podcast, the Warlock School, TTL Party Chat, Dads of Destiny, Ghosts and Echoes, which is the audio drama podcast, and, well, basically us. Am I forgetting somebody? I might be forgetting somebody.
I think that's it.
Okay.
I think that's us so far.
The Dr. Professor podcast? No, never mind.
Hey.
Yet.
When is that going to air, by the way?
I want to tune into that.
Right?
I'll get back to you on that.
The Dr. Professor podcast. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Professor Bife. You could also have Professor Bife on there.
There we go. We can have Professor Craig. It could be a whole assortment of brains.
Right? You could actually get a curriculum going. This is exciting.
We can be the secondary school after you complete Warlock School.
Get the next degree.
I like it. I like it a lot. Was that it, River?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. All right. So moving back to Dr. Professor Weeks, you are here to peddle some of your snake oil. Is this correct?
It's actually Giant's tears. It'll make you grow stronger, and it'll make you 10 times as taller. No, I'm joking.
Will this raise my light level? Is what I want to know.
Oh, that's even better.
I don't know. I mean, it might. I haven't tried it yet. But in all seriousness, I'm here to promote the Community Extra Life campaign that's going on right now. I'm sure you guys have maybe heard of it a little bit. Hopefully,
Not enough. We haven't heard
Not
enough,
enough, that's
which is why we had to have you out this week, so we could have an official headmaster of this. What's going on. Explain this to people who are listening out there. Like if this is your opportunity to just lay it on the line. Like, are we looking at an ice bucket challenge similar to this, or are you asking for just money, or are you asking for time, or what is it that you need to make your goals happen? Like, how do we give back? How does the Destiny community give back, Dr. Professor?
Okay, well, I guess let me get started. So we started this Extra Life campaign last year. This is our second year doing it with Guardian Radio, and the whole objective is to raise money for ill children in children's hospitals. Specifically, Seattle Children's Hospital Research Center. And moving forward, basically there are dozens of ways you can help out. I'm putting it in the chat right now. I don't know if you guys do a link dump or not, but I'm putting a link. I'm putting a link in the chat right now. That contains links to images you can help use to spread word of the campaign. Like, it's got the links to the Twitch we'll be using to do our 24-hour live stream to raise money for the Children's Hospital. It's got money. It's got links to the page where you can donate your own money if you choose to. And that's just two ways you can help out. A third way is we're doing, of course, the 24-hour live stream. We're going to need moderators to sit there and kick trolls and make sure the chat is flowing smoothly. So you can volunteer as a moderator by emailing me. And my email is drweeks20@gmail.com. That's drweeks20@gmail.com. And you can email me there anytime. I will get you set up. I will make sure you can help as much as you want. And
this is actually why I think that you're Dr. Professor. This is where it came from, is your email. Dr. Weeks. And I thought, Dr. Weeks, why not? Why not? You seem like a smart guy.
I wish.
Doogie Howser was much younger than you.
I wish, but no, my middle name just starts with an R. That's not the case.
Ruben. I'm guessing Ruben. Anybody else want to take a guess on what the R is? David Ruben Weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Richard.
David Richard. I like that. That sounds nice.
You guys are all wrong, but it's Russell.
Robert.
It's Rudolph.
It's Russell.
David Rudolph Weeks.
Russell.
That's pretty good. Continuing.
Yes. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's basically what you can do to help out. I mean, like, basically everyone in the community has come together to, propagate this thing. It's just so out of control. We're already almost at our goal. As I'm talking right now on the live stream, we're at $6,728, and our goal is $7,000, and that is under 2 weeks of starting this campaign. We've raised that money, just under 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
It's jaw-dropping, to say the least.
So, can you tell us a little bit about where these funds are going, what they'll be accomplishing? Okay,
so Seattle Children's Hospital was founded in 1907 as a children's orthopedic hospital, and ever since it's been a place that has endeavored to be a location of higher understanding and learning when it comes to children's illnesses. They have one of the largest libraries in the United States regarding children's illnesses, with over 35,000 books. It's just it's a great place to donate to, because not only is it the hospital Bungie donates to, I mean, come on, but like I think I said this in our interview with Bungie, that as long as everyone makes a drop in the bucket somewhere when it comes to charity, it doesn't matter where your money goes to, but if everyone tries to give a little bit, it can make a huge impact. So, I mean, that's basically it, I think.
Gotcha. Awesome, and I agree. Does anybody on the panel have a question for Dr. Professor Weeks? Great. So everybody has all the information they need.
I think I've been following it very closely, so
I think I put everyone to sleep.
No, definitely not. I mean, I'm pretty excited since I'll be partaking in the streaming.
Yeah, River is going to be holding up the red eye hours there.
That's awesome. So what hours are you looking at there, River?
Let me double check this thing, but I'm pretty sure we got 4
to
o'clock.
6?
Yeah, I think it's 4 to 6 Eastern Standard Time.
I should know this because I made the damn schedule.
Well, I was just looking at it.
Here, I'll take a look.
Was it?
But yeah, you guys are going to be on there. River's going to be, getting up early for this. I was surprised when he contacted me. He's like, I got to be up at this hour for work or whatever. He's like, but I'll get up earlier for the kids,
Yeah, that was it. Actually, looking at it, okay, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, so it'll be 4 to 6, and right whenever it hits 6 o'clock, that's my normal time of getting up to go to work.
Yikes.
Gotcha.
I salute you, River, even though you can't
thanks.
see it, but I salute you.
4 to 6. That's 1 o'clock here. That's 1 o'clock here. When are you going to sleep?
What is that?
That's crazy.
What is this sleep? What is this sleep you speak of? But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'll be broadcasting on the Twitch channel and going out. It'll be Xbox One. So if any of you guys out there who's listening and want to join me during this Red Eye stream, add me on Xbox One. It's SDF Space River. Come on and join me. I really don't care who wants to jump in. I'll probably have a bunch of space. So
that's cool. What are you
planning
on doing for your section of the stream?
Honestly, man, I'm not really sure. I'm a big Crucible guy, so I really like Crucible, but I think it really depends on if anybody joins me up with me. If they want to go do something like raid, like maybe I'll get lucky and get 6 folks total, and maybe we can go attempt a raid just for the hell of it.
That would be really cool.
Yeah,
that would be really
I
cool.
would love to. But
Also, watching you in Crucible
I would love to
be
do
really
a sleep
fun.
deprived raid.
Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun, and everybody will be asleep in the house, so I can actually talk a lot and kind of get angry whenever people sit me down, or get really excited whenever I set other people down. So I'm pretty excited for it, man.
Just like yell at him over Xbox. This is for the children.
I'll try not to get so overzealous.
just die for the children.
There we go.
Plenty of dying will be done.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. So David, who else is part of this stream? Like what other community members or communities within the Destiny group will be taking part in this stream?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Remy, because I have the schedule right here. Well, me and us and Guardian Radio are kicking it off in the morning. That's Destiny Dispatch and Guardian Radio. We're gonna start it off, get the ball rolling with with a kickoff podcast and Destiny stuff. And then we've got, going down the list here, we've got Inside Destiny, which is of course Bife. He's gonna be doing stuff on PS4. Then we got Dado right after. He's gonna be doing some Destiny as well. And we got the Rated M Gaming Network, which is kind of I think Forsaken's a part of that. It's kind of like a smorgasbord of community members from all over the place.
Drew Freeman.
Yeah, like Drew. Drew's the founder of that whole thing. Then we got Bungie Informer, who'll be streaming some Destiny. We have Stretch, believe it or not. You guys know Stretches, right?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
The mustachioed wonder. Yeah, we got that guy on there. Then we actually have TTL taking over for a little bit.
That's going to be awesome.
We got them to come out of their forum and do something. not that they're hard to get a hold of, but it's like, wow, TTL, really? And
yeah, TTL, man.
I'm pretty sure Deej is going to be joining them, which is even cooler. Then we have Destiny in Depth, a YouTuber. He's going to be doing some Destiny. Then we have the Dames online. Big shout out to them and their current breast cancer awareness campaign. By the way, that's really good of them. So they got that, and then of course there's River, and then Mark from Guardian Radio is going to close the stream out, just playing Destiny. So that's what the schedule looks like right now.
Cool. Is there a link? Is there a link that anyone could find this schedule up somewhere on the internet?
Not yet. Yeah, right now it's in its bare naked form. It's on a spreadsheet right now. I will have a finalized version on our blog though at some point, hopefully before next weekend. So you'll be able to catch that. Don't worry, it'll be all over the place.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we can come back to this if you think of anything else that you want to add to it, or if anybody comes up with questions.
Big shout out to Matt Wilson. He just emailed me to volunteer.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Nice one.
5 minutes after giving out my email. That's really cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess that's really it. I'll put that promotional link in the chat again, so people can just click it and just really tweet the images out with the hashtag Destiny fans give back, and just help spread the word. You don't even need to donate. Just spreading the word means a lot. So I guess that's all I have on the charity. Thank you so much for the time, gentlemen. If we get back to it, that'd be cool. But thank you.
Totally. Always a pleasure to have you. Always a pleasure to help out. Moving on. I want to get to Agrios and Dendros and the news, but I wanted to start off a conversation about Zur. Let's talk about Zur. He's coming tonight. He's on his way here right now from wherever he lives. But does anybody think that he's maybe not the uncle you want your kid to be hanging out with? Because that's kind of the way I feel about Zur. Like, he takes these strange coins from us that vibrate and are warm, and then he gives us these wonderful things. Like I don't think he's on the up and up. I think that him and the speaker are in it together, and we're just being fleeced, right? Oh, hey, come get this delicious mark. It's only 23 motes of light, Did anybody buy anything from Zur last weekend?
Oh, yeah.
I certainly did.
What did you get, Warlock?
I Void Fang vestments because I was sick of 4 weeks of Sunbreakers.
And is it everything that you hoped it would be?
Oh, I've been waiting for that chess piece. I love it because I love Axon Bolt, and having 3 of those instead of 2, it's awesome.
Awesome. Was that the only thing you bought?
Yeah, it's the only thing I had cash for because, I haven't bought stuff for him every week. I usually spend my motes on an engram that is for a hunter.
Interesting. What did you get, Jez?
The vestments and, of course, Icebreaker, because love me some sniper rifles.
Is that an awesome sniper rifle?
It's one of the best that I've found so far.
Because I didn't pick it up because it didn't like the stability was so low. I just couldn't imagine it being workable.
Have you not seen anybody use it?
No.
Stability it's a funny thing because it's like if you get the cadence of the shots down right, stability means nothing.
Interesting. I have noticed that with scout rifles, but it just seemed like it would be unwieldy. And I really don't want to spend my coins on something that I might regret. I picked up Prediath's, I don't know how to say that word, Prediath's Revenge, which is that void sniper from within the vault. I've actually got 2 of those.
I wish I could get one.
It is super sweet. Like, it is the stability on that is like through the roof. It is awesome. Did you pick anything up, River?
Nope.
I
didn't have enough of anything, so
hard nope
I had
from
to
River.
skip out, man. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. I think I had 11 strange coins.
Man,
Is that right? Yeah, I was pretty close. Yeah, I was
Gonna
pretty
shed
close
a
to grab
single
something.
tier.
That's all right.
Does anybody here have the Suros regime, and did it get nerfed too hardcore? Because I still want that.
I don't have it.
I have it, but remember that nerfs are meant to bring guns that are too overpowered in line with everything else. So you shouldn't be looking at nerfs as something that's going to kill a gun forever. It just means it's not better than everything.
Gotcha.
I mean, not like every Vex Mythoclast owner out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Freaking immediately dismantled theirs.
Plenty of
some
Ceros
people got
regimes still
3.
kill people in PvP. So I mean,
Right.
you just have to learn how to use it after the change. That's all.
Yeah.
Legend Blue says that it still kicks ass. Good job. Thank you.
Thanks,
did
man.
anyone get that raid auto rifle? The
Oh,
Atheon's epilogue.
Atheon's epilogue. I don't have that, but I want it bad.
I have it.
It's a little unwieldy after the update. Like it used to be such a cluster shooter. Like it was so tight in its firing pattern, but now it's like it sways from back to forth like a cradle.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's still usable, but it's a learning curve for sure.
I found it's only really good for oracles, and then after that, it's pretty bad.
I like it.
Oracles and
PvP.
Void Burn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good void weapon.
Man, I watched
Also-
Dato go through the Nightfall this week, and he had it, and it was just because it had Void Burn, and
Yep.
he just melted everyone. It was like every shot was like 400 damage. Must be nice.
Yeah, it's a good gun.
I'll stick with Visional Confluence,
There you
the
go.
scout rifle from the raid.
There you
So
go.
much funner.
That's one that I want so bad for my Titan.
Love my Might of multi-tool.
Oh yeah, that Mida multi-tool. I haven't really seen anybody rocking that. Like you're the only person that I know that has had that. But when I went to Destiny DB and looked up what it was, I was like, man, I want that now too.
It's like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Is it? Have you guys not seen it either?
I haven't seen it.
Uh, I've seen it. My boy SDF Lawn Boy actually grabbed it whenever we were doing the raid once. It was
Oh,
his first
sweet.
exotic weapon. Yeah, he was pretty psyched, and right. I'm not sure if he really likes it. I'll have to ask him. I think he's trying to get that buffed up some
those
before
raid
we go out there.
chests are like
I like the
there's
PvE, but
yeah. Oh, sorry. Those raid chests are like they're like they could go from 0 to 60 pretty quick.
I like that though.
Yeah, it's cool. Like Jackie, one of our editors, we all got shards from a chest, and she was the last to get it, and she pulled out a Suros. We're all like, what?
Whoa!
Oh man.
So did you get anything from Zur, David?
Just Void Fang vestments for my warlock, because she needed a chest piece, so I just got that.
Awesome. Agrios, did you buy anything from Zur?
I did. I picked up the Void Fang Investments, which I immediately went out and won another set of for that week's Nightfall. So that was a little bittersweet. And then I picked up the indispensable Icebreaker.
Awesome. Now I'm thinking I should have picked that up.
Yeah, you should
Oh
have.
well. Oh well.
You really should have.
It'll
makes
be there in a few weeks.
It's
Right.
low with Nightfall situations, so much more survivable.
I like it. What do we think that he's going to have this week? Does anybody want to take a guess, or is anybody hoping for anything in specific?
Sunbreakers.
Totally.
How many of you are waiting on the edge of your seats like, oh, come on, Sunbreakers, it's coming up. I'm going to get to say it. Come on.
You know, I've heard
Hilarious.
tons of people saying that he's going to have the last word. If he
Oh,
does, I'll
yeah.
probably buy it, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
See, I don't know. Last word's kind of weird, man, because it wasn't exactly what I expected. I was so psyched to grab it, and whenever I finally got it, I didn't realize it was more of a like fire as fast as you can, short range kind of hand cannon.
Dude,
Ooh,
it's
that
like
sounds
it's
awesome.
like an old Western 6-shooter. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Bang.
really cool, but that's not what I expected.
right.
And I have yet to use it. I've been working on Thorn for now, but I'm still so happy that I got it because that's what I wanted ever since they talked about it in the Bungie podcast. It's like, man, I really want that gun.
You know what? I would say that there will come a time like that that will be what you're looking for. Like if you hold on to it, you know, until that moment strikes, I think that you're really going to be pleased with it, because one of the things that made me sad about not getting to broadcast for 4 weeks in a row after Destiny launched was this progression that we would have all had, you know, like 3 days out with Destiny, 1 week and 2 days out with Destiny. Like we would have been able to see these things happening. And one of those things was I wasn't interested in using pistols at all and shotguns at all. And at some point, I just selected it. Like I just selected the pistol and I just started using it. And it felt great. And it changed the way the whole game felt. Like all of a sudden, it was this different creature. And so at some point, I'm certain I'm going to be interested in pulse rifles, just because of that, just because of how it changes it up. It's almost as different as, changing different subclasses or even different classes. But I'm looking forward to that one specifically because of you said it had like a short range fire as fast as you can. Like it wasn't what you expected, but what you described to me right now sounds awesome.
It's made to fire from the hip.
Yep.
So you just pull that trigger as fast as you can to get those shots out, and it's got like 2 perks on it or something like that. I don't have it up right now.
You
to
do know
where
you can
it's
just hold
really
it,
good.
right?
Can I throw out
Yeah,
a
let me just hold it.
crackpot theory about Xur?
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I've been noticing this week in the Destiny hashtag, I look at it whenever the new weeklies come up just to see what everyone's doing, and I noticed a lot of people, myself included, got the Thunderlord. And I've noticed in previous weeks that people have gotten, sometimes no one's gotten the Red Death, but I noticed people have gotten the Icebreaker or the Suros from the Nightfall, what have you. And then Xur seems to sell it this week, the week of the Nightfall, that is getting this specific weapon. So it makes me wonder if there's some sort of correlation between the two, or maybe I'm just totally insane. It's probably the latter.
Well, it's
I don't know. I
possible.
think
it sounds
that's-
good.
Right? Not only does it sound good, but it sounds like something that Bungie would do.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe, I don't know if it would like to decrease maybe how much strange coins you spend, because if you already have, the Thunderlord, you're not going to buy it from Xur unless you're one of those people who refuses to bank stuff and switch it to your other character.
Yeah. Did anyone else notice that weapons now are cheaper, or do you think that the cheapness of the weapon this last week was due to the weapon itself? Because weapons have typically been 17 strange coins, and the Icebreaker was only 13. Or no,
I
wait.
thought Red Death
The
was like
Icebreaker was-
23, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah, it
okay,
was-
so that's what it was. They went from 23 to 17. That's what it is.
Half. Pretty much half.
Right. So do you think that this is something that they changed due to the fact that they wanted more people to be involved in this? Like maybe 23 was too much. Maybe they felt like they were asking too much. Or do you think that each weapon will have a different price? Like the Icebreaker was only 17.
I would have responded sooner, but it's based off of what slot it takes up. Primaries are
Yeah, that's what I was
23.
just gonna say.
Oh,
How much was Gallarhorn when it was up?
Yellowhorn
I
was
think there
23.
No, it was a cheap one. It was like 17, I think.
Was it?
I thought so, because I was able to get it. And I'm like, yes, I have my meager amount of coins can purchase this.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Yeah, primary weapons cost more coins.
Okay, makes sense, because, I mean, what you're going to use more, in terms of gameplay.
Totally. All right, so let's get to Agrios and Dendros. What has happened in the world of Destiny? Why don't you give us a quick overview of the sights and sounds of what's going on?
All right. Well, yeah. Since we're talking about Xur, last week, as we already mentioned, a lot of people picked up an Icebreaker from him. He also was carrying the Voidfang vestments for the Warlock, Lucky Raspberry for the Hunter, and the Helm of Inmost Light for the Titan. Now, this is the first time for the Voidfang vestments, but it's a repeat on both of the other 2 items. So finally, the Warlocks got a reprieve from their repeats in the past.
I like it.
There is we'll start with last week's weekly update. It was about the Iron Banner, which had just ended this past Monday. Did you guys get a lot of time in the Iron Banner, or?
Nope.
Right, I didn't.
Probably not enough.
I didn't go in at all.
I didn't get enough. Well, I didn't get any either. I was going to this week, but it was over.
Was how
Sad
much?
face.
So how much did you get in, Jez?
I got just shy of rank 2, but I was doing it mostly solo because it seems to be easier for me to gain ranks that way.
Oh, okay. So when you don't
This-
have other superstars on your team, you have a chance to shine. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying?
there's an
Steal the thunder.
issue with getting high ranking when you're always on teams with people better than you.
Now, was there a was there a skirmish option for the Iron Banner? Just an all versus all mode?
It was just control, only control.
Okay. Because when I started thinking about it, I started putting some time into thinking about the Crucible. I thought about how cool it would be to have. This was before it turned out that level 7 characters could take down a level 30 character, no problem. I thought it would be really awesome to see like just one Hulk of a Guardian, standing. I mean, I think that like King of the Hill would be awesome for this. Like, imagine the different power struggles and just one person dominating all. Like everybody would end up having to gang up on that person. Like instantaneously, they'd have to realize that there's actually one person who's a threat here more than anyone else.
Like when people play.
What's that?
Like when people play against Bife.
Exactly. Exactly. They see his name and they're like, all right, well, we know who we're going for.
Him and his 4.00 KD ratios.
Yeah, I've seen the ridiculousness he pulled off.
He's nuts. I swear he takes like Crucible steroids or something.
I love it.
I need to pay for private lessons then, because I suck at the Crucible.
Bife, will you train me, please? I don't care what I got to do.
Right? He needs to open a dojo. This is what he needs to do.
I'll cover you in honey all you want. Just please, please.
Great.
Well, that's where I was going to go with this. A lot of players had a lot of a beef with the way things worked out. I mean, there were plenty of videos out there of people pulling out level 4 characters with all white gear and the Kazastav starting auto rifle and still able to tear it up against level 20-somethings in the Crucible. And although, skill is a big thing, and, I'm sure anybody in any outfit could take out a couple people, you shouldn't be able to completely hold your own, is the way a lot of players felt.
Yeah.
Did you guys notice that? I mean, we already talked about it a little bit, but do you think it was drastically away from what you were expecting, or was it more just a little bit away from what you were expecting?
Well, I tell you
what. Difference.
I tell you what, I was scared to go in the Crucible with my level 27 Guardian because I was certain that I wasn't going to be powerful enough to go up against the higher levels. Like I didn't even want to go through that whole rejection part where I just didn't have a chance. And I almost feel like this shows up within regular Crucible. I almost feel like there is already a power levels engaged in Crucible. Like some of these people are just impossible to kill. And so looking at the Crucible and the way I thought it was going to turn out was, it was night and day. And then I heard that, like you were saying, people were using the starting weapon. Who even thinks of doing that? Who in their right mind starts a character and thinks, I'm just going to take this starting weapon into this? Like, was it as a joke? Like, did Bungie not expect people to do that? Like, oh, no one's going to notice that it's a moderate difference because who in their right mind is going to go in lower than 20?
Right.
That's a thought. That's a good point.
Right, but then it turns out that they're are just as capable. And I almost went in, but I just decided to stay away from it. I will get to PvP at some point, but I don't know. Not yet for me.
You had to invest a substantial amount of time into it anyway, so.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to say, if you guys didn't listen to Guardian Radio this week, Deej's explanation as to what happened was very insightful and very appreciative. Did you guys listen?
I listened, but why don't you review it for everybody here?
Yeah.
Basically, what Deej was saying was, they talked with the Crucible guys when all this complaining was going on, and they said, well, power matters, but we still wanted to keep it as an all-inclusive activity, something that everyone can still do. And so the Iron Banner was a lot tamer than what everyone was hoping for. And while Deej didn't promise it, he did say expect it to be drastically different the next time it comes around.
Yeah. And I think that'll be cool. And I think that jumping into that, like I do want my level to matter. I think that's going to be awesome. Did anyone else watch the listen to the Guardian radio this week?
I tuned in for a little bit. I had stuff to do though. It was good for what I saw. Deej is always awesome on that show.
Right, Deej is super awesome. You know what? When we stop having technical difficulties, I'm going to invite him out to the show sometime. But I want to make sure that we have a show that's up and running. Like these last week was cool. This week so far has been not the problems that I've been dealing with. So
Go
yeah.
for 7. If you hit 7, invite him.
Right. Right, we'll be celebrating our seventh successful podcast in a row.
7 weeks without incident.
Right,
There we go.
7 weeks.
You should put a sign on the little graph there on the live stream.
I love it. I'm going to do that. What's that?
I just have a quick question about PvP before we move on. A coworker and I were kind of talking about. Just the changes to the Mythic class and other stuff that's happened this week. And, we were kind of talking, maybe the best solution for PvP would just be that no exotics, weapons, or armor would be allowed and only legendaries, like blues and legendaries. Like, how would you guys feel about that if that was how PvP went?
That's something being discussed on the Reddit fairly heavily as well. There's a lot of people that are for that line of thinking that exotics should just be banned from PvP because they're so individually game breaking.
Man, you know what? This goes back to when we first found out that Destiny, the Crucible, was going to be normalized. Like everything was going to, all of the armor was going to do the same amount of armoring, and then all of the weapons were going to do the same amount of, DPS. Like whatever it is was going to equal out. And then it turns out that there's this whole other section where the power is supposed to matter. And so thinking about something like that, it leads me to believe that you could have both. Like you could have one where there is no exotic allowed, and then one where anything goes, like a completely unregulated section of it. What if you could put on more than one exotic in this unregulated section? Like what if for this Crucible you could put on multiple? I think that would be crazy talk. I think that would be so insane.
And game breaking.
I think that's what Destiny's destined to have. I mean, with the way they have their gear and you earn it all and you become legend, why not have an unbalanced mode that's just known as not being balanced? For people
Right.
Go into
More
it.
choice, the better.
Right. You know what? Think about it. It would be just like the flood on the Bungie.net. Like there's that section of the forums that's just whatever. Like you don't have to talk about video games. You can just post whatever. Like they put that up so that there was a place to put all of that. And I think that sounds cool. I think that sounds crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
So why can't
play it all
we
the time.
have different stats for the same equipment on PvE and PvP? Like two separate stats for each piece of gear. Like have them act differently with each game mode, like that.
I'm pondering.
Because I know a lot of the complaints about the Vex Mytho class now is, it probably needed to be damage reduced in PvP, but now it's useless for PvE. Well, why can't we have a buff for whenever it's initiated in PvE and keep the same damage that it has in PvP whenever you go to PvP?
I like that scenario. There's a couple different ways that could be executed. One of the ways, I saw this from a Redditor as well, it was a good suggestion, I thought, was rather than going ahead and straight up completely nerfing the Mythic class, change that damage it had into a leveling up, something that you can earn on it, unlock with experience on it, that gives it that made-up lost damage in buff against enemies of the darkness, or enemies of the light, or something like that. So that it doesn't affect guardians, but affects enemies.
Yeah, enemies. Yeah.
I do know that in the patch notes they mentioned scout rifles having different bonuses against combatants compared to just enemies in general. based on rank. So it seems like there is some sort of differentiation between a human and a AI player or AI monster. So
Okay.
I was struggling to understand the wording in that exactly.
yeah, that was a little weird. We're still not sure exactly. Well, I'm not sure what it meant. Like maybe either it gets better as you go up in rank, like as you go up in level, or it gets worse. No idea.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
agree with that. That's very. They need to clarify that particular section a little bit, because I've had a lot of discussions with people over the past few days about what exactly that meant.
All I know is that scout rifles are still the best.
And
Yes,
that carries over for you into PvP?
Yeah, I
You know,
love
I think
scout rifles.
one of the reasons like they don't do a recalculation like that in PvP is it would either make it so you can't switch out your weapons during PvP, or it would lag the crap out of you while it reloads all the data. Like, I think that's probably one of the main reasons why they don't do it as kind of, it's got separate stats, because then if you change weapons, the game's got to recalculate kind of your whole build again as you switch out weapons.
You know what? That would be really interesting to find out how that works.
Well,
Server infrastructure.
The weapons of the raid, they all have that only do extra damage to oracles already. So if they just coded it like that to only do the damage versus enemies, creatures of the darkness.
I have a helmet that I think gives me the kills of the creatures of the darkness give me more super energy.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's awesome. So what else you got, Agrios?
So, well, to continue there, where I left off, I was going to mention that, he had interviewed one of the key developers of the Iron Banner, Derek Carroll, to address all the problems we just discussed, and he finished off promising that Lord Saladin will likely play a very different role, play by very different rules next time that they clear a landing zone for him in the tower. Moving on from that, we have it's been a month since the launch of Destiny. They gave us out a bunch of stats pertaining to what was going on 1 month after the launch of Destiny. 3.2 million players each and every day. Average play time's around 3 hours a day. The average player plays Destiny 1.8 times a day. The average player has played Destiny 20.9 times. And over the past 3 weeks, they've had more players online in Destiny than they did during the entire same span for Halo 3 and Halo Reach combined.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's tremendous.
Wow. Holy crap.
Right, so even with all of this negative feedback they've been receiving, this is still their most popular game. Like, they've still knocked this out of the park. You know what, though? I don't think that's also taking into account people who were playing like offline. Like when those other games came out, there was probably a much smaller user base that was connected to the internet. We're talking about 2010 and what was it, 2007?
Yep.
So so yeah, continue.
And so yeah, those are pretty tremendous stats. They have been doing their weekly segment where they go out and challenge the community. They talked about their Bungie bounty in last week's update, where they had gone on to send out a team of community representatives along with Deej. And I believe it was the UK one, right? Am I correct?
It was a whole UK.
The UK one, correct. And it was more console. My name is Bife, Deej, a number, Destiny, Overwatch, Fraser Boz, an unknown player took on the community. This week, earlier today, they had the ninjas from the Bungie forums doing the same thing, taking on the community once again. I think it's great that they interact with the community on a weekly basis like this, and they give a lot of people out there trying to to win these special emblems and unique emblems. Do you think Bungie is going to do more unique emblem type contests in the future, things like this?
I hope so. I hope so because I really like them. I really like the impact that it has on my game. Like when I see something that I want, I will actively work towards it. You know, there's some things that you can't yet work towards in the game. Like I really was looking forward to Pocket Infinity, and then they brought the ammo pack from 8 to 3, and now I'm not so interested in it. And so, Jez, just real quick, I'm curious to know what you think about that. Like you said that these nerfs are meant to bring them into balance. Do you think that brings Pocket Infinity into balance?
For PvP, yeah, definitely. Because it's kind of crazy going, like, when you're shooting, well, for now, it's 21 bullets that all have a chance to regenerate an entire 7 bullets. That was crazy as it is, but now it's up. It was up to 8 times 7, 54. So that's way too many chances for more bullets, and it just kept going on and on for some people. Like some people were getting like 11 out of it, and that was just wrecking people because there's like nothing to really stop it because it's just someone throwing wave after wave of hot melting lava at your face.
Okay, so what you're saying is that this has brought it into that into balance.
Yeah, you'll still see people using it because it's still a mighty fine gun. So I wouldn't worry about it. It's just not as crazy as it once was.
Awesome. So do any of you hope to see more things like this with specific like emblems or special things? And what do you think that those things might be? Because I could even see it being something like, you know, if everybody goes through this mission, everyone will get this gun, and this is the only time we're handed this out. Because that would be cool.
Halloween Strike. Calling it now. Halloween Strike.
I like
Everybody
it.
who strikes at midnight on Halloween gets a special gun.
Right? I'm in.
Or you
There
get a
was-
jack-o'-lantern head. I would be all for that.
There was they were doing that search for all 7 coins in the tower to get a emblem, but we haven't really heard back from it, even though someone did find all 7 of them.
Oh,
Who found all 7? Was it Prime Guard?
No.
No,
First
it was
for
just some
everything, aren't they?
guys.
No.
I actually ended up finding 6 of the 7, but and just not quite in time.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's someone
So who was first?
I don't recall
honestly,
his name
I can't
offhand.
remember.
I have to look it up on the comments.
Okay, gotcha.
You know,
I
I'd
don't-
love to see something like find a special ghost that they place somewhere, and it has the limited edition shell on it, so it looks different. You know, and take a picture of finding it. And you've got so many hours. I think that'd
yeah.
be fun.
When are we
Get
getting
the-
ghost shells? That's a whole other thing. Is that
Well, I
going
was
to be
going to say
like...
a Halloween ghost shell.
There we go. Pumpkin ghost.
Pumpkin
little,
ghost.
little pumpkin.
Actually, you know what? Black and orange is that Vanguard colors. Like that would be a cool tie-in.
There we go.
What about like around the holidays? Do you think that there's going to be snow on there, like they showed in that one picture, or do you think that was just for us, like that was just for the community, or do you think that that's the way the tower looked to them as they were playing Destiny?
I think they could do something like that, like totally just make it all wintry at the tower. Your guardian has like a scarf when you enter. I don't know. That would be cool.
I wasn't thinking about the scarf thing. That's an interesting idea.
Just like a little red striped scarf.
I have to wonder if that type of change is server. That type of change would be server based, or if it would be based off your clock. Like maybe you could change your clock to Christmas and see it.
Interesting.
All right,
Very
so
interesting.
Someone change it
Don't
to
look into the
Christmas.
future, just the past.
Right? You know what? People have been talking about doing that with Xur. Like you can
Yeah.
change the date in your station, in your Destiny box or your Destiny station, and you can see what he might be selling on those days.
Well,
No,
I
he
think that
did sail in those days. You can only see the past
Yeah.
Xur days. It doesn't work into the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
gives you like an error or
I see
something
what
if
he
you try to go
actually
into the future.
Only the Vex know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Vex have one little spot in their vast amount of algorithms what the hell Xur was selling each week for like 5 years.
I like it.
Yeah, they could always do a celebrating traditions of the Golden Age event or something like that, where they bring back, Christmas and Halloween and thing like that.
Could they have like a giant menorah in the tower?
That's what I was thinking is where do you stop? Where does it stop for the holidays? Like do you address it at all? Or
There
do
are
you
no
just
breaks.
right?
on the holiday train.
Well, they could be like World of Warcraft and do very generic
Like snow.
holidays.
Fake
Yeah.
holidays and stuff.
Like
yeah.
Winter Edenmas is the one in World of Warcraft.
Right, because
It's not
snow
Christmas.
right, because
It's-
snow itself is not is not any kind of linked to anything other than it's frozen water.
Yeah.
You
There
have
we go.
snow
There
today.
It's all over the Cosmodrome, so
I was gonna say if the tower gets snow, I want Old Russia to stop having snow.
we go. There we go.
Interesting.
I think if there is any sort of holiday Easter eggs in Destiny, it's going to be much more, like I said, like an Easter egg. Like, you're going to find, like, this one pine tree is going to have ornaments on it in the wild somewhere, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, even mentioned about, but there's something changed and something like that somewhere.
You know what I'd really like to see is like just like you're saying, except for like have it be a scavenger hunt, like like maybe it could be put out over Twitter, or something like the first person who finds this palm tree covered in Christmas lights, gets something. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
well, sometimes they change things without telling anybody. Case in point, the loot cave.
Yeah.
Say
That was
I was
awesome.
gonna say, and next
Exactly.
in the news.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was awesome. I went there and checked that out, and what a cool little thing. Like, I wonder how long that'll be there for. Like, is it just part of the game now?
It should
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going
just
with
part of the
the
game.
game.
That's what I expect.
it should be in the next one too.
So on that Guardian Radio, on Monday's Guardian Radio, Mark approached Deej about how it said the Fallen are retreating from Rocket Yard, and I knew that it was a joke aimed at the loot cave, and that they were moving that loot cave. But Mark asked, Mark said something about whether or not that was the dynamic world of Destiny changing. Like, did we kill a certain amount of Fallen in that area, and because of that those Fallen are now falling back? Like, are we affecting the world around us? And I thought that was great. Like, even though I knew it was just it was talking about that loot cave, like, what a great idea. Like, I love the idea that, like, maybe there's a goal. Like, maybe if we kill a certain amount of things, like, this all changes. And I feel like that's the way Destiny is moving. I feel like that's the direction Destiny is moving. But I mean, we haven't seen that yet. In this loot cave thing is really awesome.
It would be interesting to see if they kept that up, that it's instead of like completely decimating an entire area, you would have it so that the you killed so many Fallen in this place, the Hive have grown in number now, and
Right.
they just base it off of which one gets killed more gets pushed back, or which one goes further or gets increases in numbers, and then it just plays like that. That'd be interesting.
Totally. I would love to see there be interaction with the different worlds. Like, they could increase the spawn rate in a certain area and then give us that information, like the Hive are beginning to take over this section of the moon, and if we don't kill this many by this day, this will be the way it always is, or something will change, like us getting pushed back, or us pushing back. I think that's awesome.
I think
It'd
that's
be
a
nice
good
if the
idea.
Vanguard. Oh, sorry, River. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick that I think that's a wonderful idea, but the way Destiny has been made at this point and everything that we have in it right now, I think we're expecting way too much.
Agreed.
That's
I'm
true.
just saying, like we've had all these high expectations and stuff, and I think they have the baseline so far under what we expected that anything as extravagant as that is just not going to be happening for a couple years at least.
Totally.
That's just how I feel about it.
So
I've been
basically, we're expecting too much is the title of the Memoirs of Destiny.
Pretty much.
You know
At
what,
least
though?
so far right now.
This doesn't end at us, though. This doesn't end at us because
No.
I'll tell you what, the people making Destiny right now, they have huge expectations as well. Like when they say things like Deej mentioned that the GDC video was really old, and so what you want to do shifts, what you can do shifts, and so I take that information to mean that what they had to do, what Bungie had to do to ensure that they could move forward was create a world and create a set of rules and create every like the foundation. The foundation of Destiny is legendary. Like the gameplay is so smooth and it's so satisfying. Like all of the interactions with the enemies are so like even though it's just the same thing over and over, you know, shoot, wait, duck. It's satisfying, and they needed to do that. They needed to do that first before they could add these other things in. And I think that they've accomplished that. They absolutely have accomplished a very awesome base game. Like all of the complaints that I see are about what Destiny should be, like what it could be more than it already is. I don't see a lot of people complaining about the mechanics of the game. And even the people who are talking down about the mechanics of the game still give it credit in some way, shape, or form because it does do so many things well. And I think that what we're looking at in the future is it's going to be an awesome game. There's just absolutely no way that they haven't all had the same exact ideas that I've been thinking about and talking about, and everything that we've been talking about in the show, and all of the ways that we have these expectations. There's just no way that they aren't thinking about that as well. Like they absolutely are thinking about those things. Like that's why Bungie hasn't contacted me, because they don't need me. They got 10 of me there who have already thought these ideas out and are ready to implement it. They just haven't yet.
Hey, Destiny's still the best 6 out of 10 game we can't stop playing.
Right?
Someone slap that on an advertisement board or billboard or something.
The best 6 out of 10 game of all time.
Us and 3.2 million other people.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
like I'd like to do a top 10 list of games that have been rated 6 out of 10 and see what that compares. Like what does a 6 out of 10 game look like compared to Destiny? Let's make that happen. Somebody on this panel or somebody listening, let's make a list of these things and we'll talk about it on the show one week because for reals, the best 6 out of 10 game I can't stop playing.
I think one thing people should take note of is all the people that are making suggestions, just things they want changed, things that should be changed, type of things like that. They wouldn't be making these lists if they didn't care that the game got better.
Yeah, that's actually something Deej brought up on that Guardian Radio podcast. It was like there's so many people trying to say what this game should be and what it could be, and this is worth millions of dollars. So if you have thoughts, if you have suggestions, hit those Bungie forums, or hit them up on Twitter. Like tell them what it is that you think because they're listening. Like Deej was saying something about you have choices as a developer. Do you put in public, or do you put in private matches, or do you put in more clan functionality? Like these are the things that are being discussed and worked towards, but you can only do so much. So yeah, I'm still excited about Destiny. I'm gonna go play some right now. I gotta do some dailies. And Zur is coming tonight. Did you have anything else really awesome, Agrios? We are at the end of our program.
No, we pretty much covered everything, if not directly in discussion.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, then that is our show. I'm going to go through the lineup one more time, see if anybody has some shout outs. Let's go with you, Dr. Professor Weeks. Shout outs, maybe recap of your extra life information.
Okay. Basically, if I'm gonna recap the extra stuff. Yeah, just really, I'm gonna put this link in the chat here real quick, and if you guys have a link dump, you could post it, and that would be great. But like, here's just a link with all the promotional images. If you could spread those, it not only raises awareness for the Community Extra Life campaign, but it also raises awareness for Extra Life as a whole, which is honestly part of the larger goal. So if you could just spread those images on Twitter, Facebook, your chosen social media outlet, just please do that. I would be grateful, and that's all I have. Thank you very much for having me, everyone.
Awesome. Agrios.
Um, I don't really have much to say in closing, except for thanks for having me on the show. I look forward to bringing you a in-depth and successful news report every single week. And want to keep my finger on the pulse community. I don't want to bring you just the news that is posted on Bungie or wherever, but I want to try to bring you all the creative things our community are working with on a week-to-week. That's my commitment to you.
I like it. I like it a lot. Jez.
I want to shout out to Zer for hopefully bringing another pair of Sunbreakers tomorrow, so I can hear all the tears from all the warlocks.
Do you sustain yourself off those tears? Are you just like stuck to Twitter? You're like, oh, I'm feeling a little wheezy. I need.
To be honest, I never had a warlock when he was selling them, so I honestly want a pair myself.
So you're hoping for them for real?
If they're there, I blame you.
I like it. Warlock.
I'm just going to shout out to those people who are in our Twitch chat right now for coming back to us after 4 weeks of problems, and hopefully we've got those resolved and we can get this show back out to everyone who wants to listen to it. So thanks for the support, guys, and keep supporting the community. Let Deej and Bungie know, your ideas, your criticisms, good or bad. Let them know, because as we know so far, Bungie's listening and they're doing their best to make this game better for all of us. So just keep it up. You guys are all awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, 4 weeks. 4 weeks without a show. We're gonna have to climb that mountain again. But we got a lot. We got a lot on the horizon. This show's only going to get better. It's just the very beginning. We haven't even begun to hit our stride. This is all still baby steps here. River.
I don't really have any shout outs, but I did want to reiterate that Guardian 1 will be streaming for Extra Life. Our particular block will be 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Sunday, October 26th, and we will be giving out prizes.
That's EST, by the way.
That is EST. I do appreciate that. We'll be giving out prizes, so if you guys do happen to be up that late wherever you are, we would appreciate you being there.
You know what? Not to butt in, but should I mention the prizes Bungie gave us real fast?
Do it.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Bungie gave us a crap ton of prizes for the stream. I don't have the exact list, but there's 2 ghost editions. That's just one.
That's awesome.
There's two limited editions. There's 20 water bottles. Those fancy Guardian water bottles they have on the website, the store. I think 10 swag bags, somewhere in that number.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
And then some people are calling this the grand prize. You get to play a strike with Deej. So
some people are calling that the main prize.
Some people are calling that the main prize. Others are calling it the carry Deej through a strike prize.
Every single one of those things I want.
Agreed. I like it.
Yes, thank you.
And how will people win these prizes, David?
Okay, we halved it. So people who donate will have a chance to win a prize, and if you come during the stream day, you will have a chance. So we've halved the prizes. So 10 water bottles will be given out during the stream, 10 to donors, so on and so forth. So if you donate and you come watch, you technically have a higher chance of winning. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Awesome. Great. I would like to shout out to Craig Hardgrove, who told Deej the biggest, like what I felt was the coolest bit of feedback, and that was that he wanted a library in the tower where you could look at your grimoire, and I thought that was great. Like I understand that if Bungie doesn't want to put that in your character screen, like you've already got roster and then items and then like I can understand they don't want to do that, but can you imagine like you get a grimoire card and then you're able to go to the tower and read it there? Like I know, like I have the mobile application. I have access to the internet. I don't want to go to those places to learn this lore. Like since last week, all I've been able to think about is what kind of a missed opportunity that grimoire information about Shax and Saladin like I could have read that in game, like if that just that flavor text in that Titan mark was so amazing. Like it fed so much into my brain and my imagination about what's happening in this world, and not having that access in game in any form is just truly a missed opportunity. And since we're really just looking at a couple of images and some flavor text, well, I guess there is also the fact that there's stats associated with some of those cards. But I thought that was great. So my shout out is to Craig because a library in the tower would be awesome.
We love you, Dr. Chardgrove.
Chardgrove. Yeah.
Also, I would like to thank everyone listening for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions or comments, please send them to feedback@guardian1.net, and we will see you next week.
Peace.